Welcome to the transparency. Happy New Year's. Hopefully 2024 is everything that you're going to make it. Tonight is episode 3 in the story of Darcey Smith, Sandpoint, Idaho, Bonner County. Join me. Again, want to thank you guys for being here, moderators, subscribers, members. Again, happy 2024. Did I say 2023? It's 2024. We'll get started here.
Listen, folks, I know there's a history here. I'd like to get this hearing in today. You know, everybody needs to just focus on the relevant facts, okay? I know there's a history here.
Are you talking up by Sunset Mart? Up the hill by the gas station?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you... All right, who's responsible here?
No one's responsible here except for me. All right, again, welcome, guys. Welcome to the transparency. This is episode 3. We're going to begin with some never seen footage from Darcey Smith's on October 31st. It's going to be up to you guys to decide when it's all said and done with the miniseries. Do you believe that Darcey Smith took her own life, or do you believe that Darcey Smith met with foul play? But this is never seen footage from body cam of the incident on October 31st. A quick recap before I go there. I talked about that there was no 911 call because the phone call that was made to Chief Kuhn was from Miranda Montgomery. She was the one that called Chief Kuhn directly on his cell phone. So there is no 911 call, number 1. Number 2, to recap, Darcey never had an autopsy. Number 3, they say that Darcey Smith shot herself with her left hand. Darcey Smith is right-handed. There was, the coroner was reluctant to say that it was a suicide. And according to sources, it's because obviously something didn't look right, but it wasn't until allegedly gunpowder residue was found on her hands. Again, when did that test take place? We don't know. The ungloved hand that she is said to have shot herself with, well, she was holding that glove in death photos. So, wait, say that again. Again, how do you land on a gun? Wouldn't the recoil cause it to fling before the fall? The gun that Darcey Smith used, it is an unregistered firearm. The firearm that I got the serial number for that was in evidence, that gun is unregistered. Like a throwaway gun. I would think that Darcey or her husband would have registered their firearm that was meant for protection. The gun was jammed with a bullet in the chamber. In a surveillance video, which we will see at some point, 2 gunshots can be heard by most listeners. Some say 1, some say 2. At some point, again, you will hear that and you can decide for yourself. Miranda Montgomery is a 21-year-old, and Jolene Bess. These are the 2 people that I go ahead and I'm labeling as the whistleblowers. We're going to dig deep and we're going to show you their communication beginning March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and then October of 2022, leading up to the incident on October 31st. This is public FOIA request information that was obtained due to the fact that Jolene and Miranda were using their work messaging system that they had, as well as emails. Prior to the incident on October 31st, 2022, there was a investigation that was launched internally by, how does the sheriff put it? In June of 2022, the Bonner County HR department received several tips that former fair manager Darcey Smith was misappropriating Bonner County Fairgrounds assets, funds, misusing funds. The HR department consequently assembled a team to formulate a response plan and present it to the Fair Board. This HR team advised the Fair Board that both the Fair Board and the Board of County Commissioners, the BOCC, needed to immediately reclassify the fair manager position as reporting only to the Fair Board. There was situations that arose during COVID. Because of situations due to COVID, it changed the way that the fairgrounds manager did their duties. And it had to do with decisions that they could make and who they had to run stuff by. So there was tweaks that happened due to COVID. Now it was, hey, we forgot, we didn't take care of this, that we need to kind of change the language, and it has to go back to the way it used to be. Nonetheless, somebody was offering up what they would call and consist of whistleblower information. I'm going to let you guys decide what you think of the correspondence back and forth. But it is my belief and others that there were at least 2 whistleblowers. And I went ahead as far as to say that I wanted to look into, if you whistleblow and you are in fact lying, what can happen to you? So there began to be an HR investigation into basically Darcey Smith. In July of 2022, the HR team advised the external auditor that there was suspicion of fraud at the fairgrounds. Again, this came from the whistleblowers saying things, providing something, you would think, some proof to what they are saying. Maybe they went undercover, or maybe it was all just lies. Again, we're going to let you guys take from it what you want. In August of 2022, the HR team notified the internal auditor of the embezzlement risk. Again, the sheriff just went through the different time period of things that was happening. So June, July, August. Immediately after the HR team met with the Fair Board, Smith filed a harassment grievance against the HR team. This grievance was tailored to hamper the internal investigation. Again, this is all being written by a sheriff. So that's his and other people's opinions. But if Darcey was being, harassed, she has every right to file any type of grievance she wants. The Commissioner McDonald, supported Smith's efforts by insisting that the HR team be taken off the case and by falsely stating that the BOCC would investigate the matter. Throughout the 2022 year period, McDonald, he was one of the board members, the commissioner. There was 3 of them. He was one of them. The sheriff believed that he used his authority as chairman of the BOCC and liaison to the Fair Board to frustrate the Fair Board's efforts to oversee Fair Board financial activities, including the Fair Board's efforts to determine and detect if there was actually fraud, embezzlement. Because an internal investigation was being blocked, and because prosecutor Lewis Marshall, remember that name, Lewis, okay, it's going to come up here in this episode, Lewis Marshall, had serious concerns about possible mismanagement of Bonner County fair funds, Marshall determined a criminal investigation was both necessary and warranted. Now the question is when did Prosecutor Marshall make that decision? What's the date when I mean make that decision, make that determination? Sandpoint Chief Corey Kuhn initiated the investigation. As the fairgrounds is located within the city of Sandpoint, Chief Kuhn and his officers determined there was probable cause to believe that the crime of misuse of public funds had been committed by then Fair Director Darcey Smith. Again, what is this probable cause? Where I would love to read this probable cause if there is an affidavit. Chief Kuhn, again, and detectives interviewed Miss Smith on October 27th, 2022. Literally just days before the incident on October 31st. Again, Chief Kuhn and detectives interviewed Miss Smith on October 27, 2022. And I'm going to go over, and I have that report here, and I'm going to show it to you guys. Then, on October 28th, what they left out of this lovely press release by the Sheriff's Department was that on October 28th, there was an interview conducted of Miranda Montgomery. And then, like I said, October 31st, 2022, that is the incident in question that I'm trying to let you guys decide. Do you believe that Miss Smith took her own life, or do you believe that something else happened? Coroner Beers, yep, what you drink down, determined the cause of death to be a single gunshot wound and the manner of death to be a suicide. Coroner Beers consulted with a forensic pathologist in making his determination. There was no autopsy done. So how the coroner consulted with this pathologist who is unnamed, again, a mystery. Additionally, gunshot residue was found on the descendant's hand. Again, my question is how was this determined and when was this determined? Because no autopsy was done. Due to rampant speculation at the time, Prosecutor Marshall, Sheriff Wheeler, and Chief Kuhn issued a press release urging members of the public to not speculate and make baseless accusations, kind of like what they did. So they're asking people not to do that, even though that's just what they did to this woman. While many followed that advice, unfortunately, some did not, and there were reckless allegations made against Fair Board members, Bonner County employees, and even against elected officials. This investigation has provided conclusive proof that those allegations were made based on false information. Again, I have the investigative report as well. We got it all here. After Miss Smith took her life, as they're saying, the criminal investigation concluded, and Prosecutor Marshall initiated a personnel investigation to determine the extent of wrongdoing and loss. A thorough investigation was completed, and the findings are made available to the public with this statement. Due to this being a personnel investigation, the names of the witnesses are being redacted. When he says witnesses, he really means whistleblowers. But my investigation that I did personally by reading and researching, I believe that there is a huge question on were these whistleblowers or witnesses truly just that and not pot stirs and flat out liars. This all allegedly started over what possibly could be buying boots or a belt buckle. Come on. That's true. So a thorough investigation was completed and the findings are being made available, and they made them available to the public. They redacted heavily some stuff. We'll get into all of that. Secondly, the release of confidential personnel investigations has a chilling effect on future witnesses coming forward, and that is why we're redacting people's names. Well, I don't have to redact shit. I'm going off of who I think these people are based on doing FOIA requests. FOIA requests, and you guys can make the decision if you agree with me or if you think, hey, Lana, you're wrong. It's not these people. That's up to you. At the end of the day, this was what was produced to the public on July 26th, 2023. Now, the following month, on August 17th, 2023, get this, there would be a FOIA request that was asked. And what it wanted was any and all phone calls, text messages, emails, or other correspondence, all communication between Sandpoint Police Department and Bonner County Sheriff Wheeler, between October 31st and November 2nd. Now, normally what happens in these situations, and it was any and all references made about the Darcey Smith alleged, suicide, the incident. The response back. The following is in reference to this incident report. Contact you requested from the Bonner County Sheriff's Office on above deference date. The IT department has completed a free 2 hours for you. And during those 2 hours, guess what we found? We found absolutely nothing. There was no emails, no chats, no text, no Google Workspace, or phone records on the death of Darcey Smith. Excuse me? Per Idaho code, though, there is an opportunity for you the custodian may require advance payment of fees authorized by this section. And so therefore, if we believe that we have to dig deeper, we are authorized under Idaho Code 74-102, which basically they say then, consequently, if you would like to continue with this search, we gave you 2 free hours. We couldn't find anything. If you want us to go further, we believe that you will have to prepay at least 72 hours at $29 an hour for a grand total of $2,088, and you can make that out into a check made payable to the Bonner County Sheriff's Office as a precondition to further processing of your request. Now, come on. I don't need all that. 72 hours and 2 hours of free work, you couldn't find diddly squat, but you need 72 hours, you think, to come up with what I'm asking for or what other people could possibly ask for? Interesting, right? Now, here we go. So I'm going to put this out there again. This has never been seen by the public. And the purpose of putting this out is because if you followed along in episode 1 and episode 2, I was very concerned with the nature of the crime scene, because if you're going to label something a suicide versus a homicide, I want to know how you went about doing that, right? Well, let's check it out. Here's the body cam. A first responding officer, Flanagan, Flattery, whatever he goes by.
Dispatch, speed 2-1. Oh, nope. Hey, my battery's dead. Disregard, I'll call. At least I have a radio that's like... let's get an officer.
All right, so the first thing I want to point out is that I was able to zoom in on that phone, and he is making a phone call here at 3:26 p.m. And this is Officer Flanagan. And then the other voice that you hear that's Chief Kuhn.
Yeah.
And then we'll go get your gear.
Hi, it's SB21. Hey, can I get a unattended case for an unattended death at the fairgrounds? And that's all I need right now. I'll call. Okay, thanks. Bye. Hey, are you the 06 car or was Fisher? Oh, for a coverage? Oh, 8 or 9. Oh, okay. Okay, you're the 06 car though? Okay, thanks. Bye.
That's call number 1 after dispatch. Call number 2.
Hey, are you busy?
Hey, are you busy? I just cleared the hospital. Here's your first look at Chief Coon, no gloves.
I need you to come out to the fairgrounds. I want you to drive to the west side of the rodeo arena, the outdoor arena. So you'll see Chief's truck when you come up, and then there's a. I'll direct you back that way, or Chief will. No, don't enter the arena. You come on the south side of the arena, and there's a road that comes back here. All right, thanks, boss. Bye. I'm gonna photo the tire tracks before Fish comes in.
Okay, so Fish is the person that's headed there in 30 seconds. Now, I want you guys to do your own, I don't even think this requires detective work, but we all take pictures of our kids. We all take pictures of things that we like. We're out and about, we take pictures. I want to know when the last time you've ever taken pictures while you've been moving and to think that they're not going to be blurry. Ask yourself that. Next, I want you to ask yourself, if you're going to take pictures of tire tracks, do you put your camera and your phone up in the air to take pictures of tire tracks down on the ground? And last but not least, why in the world would you ever have another person with a vehicle come anywhere near this unattended death scene? This is how they train at the unit, or what is it, at the post in Idaho. You don't even need to be trained. You don't need to be trained in anything to know that if you want to preserve something, this is definitely not how you would do it. Right there, you can see the puddles. Okay. You could see there's like a tire track there. I have different timestamps. I'm going to go back and stop them on the dot that I have here. But for the time being, I'm going to let this play through. The grasses are so grass. Welcome to my world. Thank God it rained. Thank God it was such shitty weather. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. Right there's my first stop, 401. Take a look. Okay. You see those are totally fresh tracks right there? You see a bunch of fresh tracks? All right. Now, for whatever reason, this officer believes that it's worth taking a picture of this area. So that tells me that it's relevant. Okay. This area would be relevant. So taking a picture of this area. Up high in the sky. He lifted his camera literally up to either over his head or I mean, at his face to take what you would call taking pictures of tire tracks, marks. Now, call me crazy, but when I want to take a picture of something that my son does, okay, who's just turned 8, I get all up in there and I take really, really close pictures of his work when he does painting, and I don't go way far back. Or what are you doing? You want to know what those tire tracks look like? You would get on all fours and you'd get those tire tracks. That's what you would do. Then look at this. What is he taking a picture of there when he turns around? What? Huh? Look at. There's tire tracks over there. Tire tracks here. Where do they stop though? What's going on? Well, let's see if Lana can find them. I see tire tracks right there. Look at. He reaches his hand out like that. Have you ever seen somebody take photos like this? Have you ever seen anybody take photos like this? These are the people that you don't ask to take photos of you when you're out with your friends and you're like, hey, can you take a picture of all of us together? And you're like, God, why did we ask that person? Of all the people, we have to ask the idiot. You know what I mean? This is a guy that you would never want to ask to take a photo of you and your friends out in front of like something historical. Take a look at this. He's taking pictures of tire tracks. What is he taking pictures of? There, your tire tracks are on the ground. Then look at this right here. He is, God knows what he's doing. He's walking as he's taking one handheld picture, walking all through it. Look at, who could take pictures like that? Look at this. I've never seen some. Now I'm going to point out, here's where I got your asses. You see the straight one coming through here? And there's the curvy one. Okay. Tire tracks there. Right there. And then you got one that kind of backed up right there. Where are these ones coming from? It's like, where'd this one come from? Okay. Well, look at this guy. What in the world are you doing, son? I mean, what? Look, he's walking as he's taking these. Who even knows if he's taking pictures or if he's acting like he's taking pictures? No gloves on, no nothing. And then the best part comes right here. Look at. What is he taking pictures of?
I don't think we're really going to need you. It's going to be, we're going to have to get a hold of the sheriff's department. They're going to have to go notify dad and son.
What? Those aren't tracks.
We're going to go ahead and do our thing, But I got your good camera.
Then, right here, listen to what he says to the guy.
I know.
I got your good camera in the truck. I know. I'm just gonna get some pics. Okay. Again, prayers going out to the family, to the friends of Darcey Smith. This is absolutely ridiculous. I've never seen anything like this in my life. And you think you see it all when you see some of the cases. Neither one of them have any gloves on. And something that I will not show is both of those two officers, they touched Darcey's body. They moved Darcey without any gloves on. And I have no words for that. I have then right here before this fish guy is going to come, Chief Coon, who that is, says, I have your good camera in the truck. Well, where is their truck? Where is their truck? He walked all the way up there. I didn't see any of their vehicles. And that's interesting to me that we wouldn't see any of their vehicles. How did they know not to drive all the way back there? Where is their vehicle? Where's this truck? Where's the vehicle that they came in? And it's not there. It's not in the vicinity. Okay. But yet you're going to have somebody come on down. If you weren't even in that area, you're having somebody come on down to this area, but you're not even over here. your truck isn't over here. And then something that I think is beyond disrespectful, and I'm going to play it here, is I believe that these two 100% are laughing at the end here.
Real quick.
Right there, you hear the chief say, "Why didn't you call us like 4 hours ago?" We're going to get all up into that. Why didn't you call us like 4 hours ago? That's a very interesting thing to say. What are you talking about? Why didn't who call you 4 hours ago?
Who's that?
He says he's talking to Lewis. Okay, this is an unattended death, and this is what they're doing. But listen right here at the end.
She's not dead. She's not dead.
It's rolling again.
Darcey.
Oh, sorry. My prayers go out to Darcey's loved ones, family. This is totally unacceptable. And moving on. I want to share. Thank you. Yep, it should not be muted anymore. Video file. We're going to bring in good old Hector the projector here now. Hector's going to help us here. Now. Let me just make sure this is where that I want it. Okay. Now again, this is October 27th, right before October 31st. On October 27th, 2022, I was assigned to assist with a fraud investigation involving Darcey Smith. I was informed by Chief Kuhn of suspicion of a falsified document regarding the purchase of a belt buckle from a business named Hartmeyer and Buchan Silversmith. You are investigating something due to the purchase of a belt buckle? I mean, I don't know what goes on in Sandpoint, okay? But you're taking this up because of a belt buckle that could have, and boots with the fur? I was informed by Chief Kuhn of a suspicion of falsified document regarding the purchase of a belt buckle. Chief Kuhn passed along a document which appeared to show a purchase for a custom belt buckle for 2022 Bonner County Ranch Sorting Champion. A receipt photo copied on the paperwork indicated a female named Darcey Smith made the order on January 24th, 2022 at 16:16. I was informed there was suspicion the receipt was not for a belt buckle, but for a pair of boots. I also received a picture of one of the buckles that was handed out for the 2022 Ranch Sorting Champions. I observed the buckle, which was handed out, was made by Gist, which I later confirmed to be a custom belt buckle maker. Despite the order information showing the company as Hartmeyer and Buchan Silversmith, the receipt and invoice were added to the case file for further review. October 27th, I contacted the business Gist and requested information regarding an order, which was placed with their company from Bonner County Fairgrounds or Darcey Smith. I made contact with the account executive of Gist, Kimberly, who advised there was a purchase made from Darcey Smith on behalf of Bonner County Fair for 3 belt buckles for Ranch Sorting Champion. So what's the problem here? They agreed to send me the information for the order and email communications she had with Smith. I later received an email including the final invoice, a copy of the order, credit card receipt, and email correspondence regarding the order. The paperwork was printed and scanned into the case file for further review. I reviewed the paperwork from Gist and compared it to the suspected fraud. When comparing the two items, I observed several similarities between the format of both business orders. The customized information was formatted the same with both the paperwork in question and the Gist paperwork. I later looked into, oh, bless them, if he can't even spell. You guys, sometimes you have to laugh. Into 2 other companies that made custom belt buckles. Using the business online order procedure, I completed a mock buckle to purchase and added it to the online shopping cart. I completed this for Montana Silversmiths and Molly's Custom Silver using their websites. I compared the other format, which was different from both companies. Both companies' order format was also different from Gist. I printed the order format for both companies from the website and attached it to the case file for further review. On October 27, 2022, I was tasked with interviewing Darcey Smith at the Sandpoint Police Department. Chief Kuhn had met with Smith in his office, and Detective Ryan and I then met with Darcey. So this is just what Flanagan had to say in his report. Okay. So Detective Ryan read Smith her Miranda warnings, but not right away. They have an issue in Idaho reading people their Miranda. I mean, it's the first thing you would ever do. It's the first thing they're taught. How anybody has Miranda issues in this day and age, you're just a fucking moron. And I emphasize fucking. Okay? Moron. You just don't have those issues. But she wasn't read her Miranda warnings right away. But here we go. So they're down at the Sandpoint Police Department. And here it is. This is the summary. This is the summary of her statements when we met. The buckle order form was from a new company she had never worked with before. That would be true. So true statement. They tried to work with new companies. They tried to work with it. This guy really sucks at writing, but whatever. I have all the audits, by the way. She contacted the company in person at an IAFE event. That's true. IAFE was an international fair event, in case you guys didn't know. Next, what Darcey told us in this, the event occurred in Colorado. She has no contact information for the company. She ordered the buckle and it was never delivered. The fairgrounds has previously used Gist. Would that be true? It's true. Molly's, Montana Silversmith, and Lone Star Silversmith to purchase buckles. Home Depot credit cards were in Fairgrounds' name and could only be used at the store. You can't make orders over the phone or something like that or online. Her card was the only one at the time. Chris lost his card, and Cole, who allegedly found her car, according to reports. did not have one. She doesn't typically make purchases from Home Depot. The fairgrounds has an Amazon account. The fairgrounds has a Capital One card for Walmart. Again, they're asking her a bunch of questions in this, interview process to find out who is stealing a bunch of money, allegedly. There was a couple whistleblowers, and we're going to reveal those whistleblowers here in just a minute. But I'm working it backwards so that you guys can see on your own if you believe that these people were the whistleblowers. Now, let me go here. Okay. They have a Staples card. There are fuel cards that Chris and Cole use from Co-op. They have one debit card for the Mountain West bank account. They have a checking account only at Columbia Bank. She has made small purchases at McDonald's to meet with sponsors. She bought coffee and breakfast for the Co-op sponsor. They have 2 new accounts for Royalty and Rodeo. You'll realize what that is a little bit later. The Rodeo account has a debit card in the safe. She pays summer help out of the fairgrounds account by check, and they contract with the county. Volunteers are paid by check from the fairgrounds account. Now, this is what I thought was funny. Volunteers, then they're not volunteers if we're paying them, right? So I thought that was interesting because some of the volunteers at the end, I guess, say, I want to get paid. I don't know. But no, I did more research. And yeah, some volunteers want to get paid. So I would just love to hear how that conversation goes. Hey, I want to volunteer my time, but I want to get paid. So they pay fair superintendents and judges. The superintendents and judges write down their time and can either donate their time or choose to get paid. Livestock judges always take checks. There are no contracts for the judges and superintendents. She has worked in her position for 5 years. She has never had a dime missing. The PayPal transactions are from the online ticket sales for events. I looked into that. You know what I think is interesting here? This is how easy it is to tell who the whistleblowers are. Based on the questions that Darcey Smith was asked, that's like the dead giveaway on who your whistleblowers are. And you'll see when you see the correspondence that I'm going to show you here. Normally, the events have 3 deposits from ticket sales. The first deposit is cash and check from sales at the gate. The cash and checks are counted by her and Miranda and deposited by both. This is really, really important. Large deposits always consist of 2 people going to the bank, which makes sense, right? Safety. Card transactions go straight to the bank. You guys know how that works. When you run your card, obviously it goes straight to the bank. Online transactions are paid to the account through PayPal. Everybody knows how PayPal works. And the narration continues. Smith agreed to collect transaction information for Home Depot, Walmart, and Amazon purchases and give them to us for review. Smith stated she had nothing to hide. Think about this. Smith could have just, at that moment when they wanted to talk to her, she could have said, hold on a second. Nope, I want a lawyer present. You know what I mean? She had no issues talking to them. I don't recommend that even if you're innocent. You always want to have a lawyer present. Don't ever do this. You could tell cops to fucking kick rocks with a smile and say, thanks for your service, but I'm sorry. Unless you have, I don't know, you're detaining me, you're arresting me. I have nothing to say to you. That's what you do. Because they're not coming to you to clear up a mistake, guys. That's not what's happening. That's never the case. You just never know who is willing to lie and how far they're willing to lie and what they're willing to say. So the interview was documented using my department-issued digital recording device. Imagine that. So I'd like that. The recording was added to the case file for further review. Now, On October 28, 2022, myself and Detective Ryan responded to the Bonner County Fairgrounds to interview Miranda Montgomery. This wasn't redacted, unfortunately. We spoke with Montgomery, who agreed to speak with us about the things she had already discussed. You guys see already discussed? It means that's not what they said in Darcey's, okay? So regarding the issues she was aware of. You see that word aware of? Regarding Darcey Smith. So right here, thanks to Flanagan and his just mouth, he basically tells me that Miranda Montgomery is one of the whistleblowers because he writes it in his report. Yay! Thank you, Detective Flanagan. What did you win? Tell them what they won, Johnny. Well, high five, 2024, your year, buddy. I mean, the chief and the sheriff are like, we're not going to tell anybody who these witnesses are because no one's going to come forward and want to deal with us ever again. Well, Flanagan must have not have got that memo. Here it is. The first issue was a cash bonus received from Smith. Now, this is my question. I want to see where the deposit for the cash is, okay, because there's no trace on this. So this issue right here to me, what Miranda said is that I got a cash bonus. I'm going to go report my cash bonus. Excuse me? Now, mind you, did you guys see anywhere in Darcey's questions, did you see any mention and her have any response to, did you give Miranda a cash bonus? Did you see that question? Why wasn't that question asked? Or maybe it was asked and she was emphatically denying it. You get what I'm saying? But why wouldn't that, like, I mean, the first issue, so don't you think that would be in the line of questioning for Miss Darcey Smith? Well, it's not there in the report. So either it was asked, but it was kindly not written out because it blew up that narrative. Number 2, she received the cash bonus on October 17th. That's interesting. She didn't know where it came from and immediately checked the cash register. What? Now, let me tell you the history about Miranda and Darcey. Miranda's 20 years old. Darcey's a grown-ass adult with a husband, with kids, you know what I mean? And Darcey was Miranda's right hand, okay? Also, one of her very close friends. So you're going to sit here and tell me that this woman had an issue receiving a cash bonus, but it happened October 17th. Well, that's interesting to me because y'all went and talked to these, law enforcement agencies way before October 17th. So unless that's from 2021, okay, versus 2022, that's a damn lie because that couldn't be your first issue because it didn't happen yet by the time you went and talked to them in June, July, March, April, May, that period, you and Jolene. Yeah, that hadn't taken place yet. So that can't be your first issue, but whatever. Just lies. So I'm just going to call them out as I see them. Let me make sure that's a little bit more clear. There we go. The cash register is located under the front desk in the office and can be accessed by anyone. It's unsecured. She didn't know there was cash in the register, but found some inside. Okay. Oh my God. Your point. Why isn't there an amount? What is the cash? What is this cash bonus? What, $26? I mean, one would think that they'd be writing on here what this cash bonus was. She counted the cash and found that there was $169 in there. She didn't know if Smith took money out of it. What? She returned Monday and checked the register. She found $69 in there and got it all out of the office, deposited it. What? I would be asking this woman, what the fuck does this have to do with anything? There's $100 missing, which it's unsecured, so it can come from anybody. That's what you're telling me right now, because it's unsecured. So who all works at the office? Who all can get there? Who knows where this is located? Smith likes to keep some cash inside the register. Okay, so it's normal. She doesn't know why there is cash in the register. A while back, she doesn't know when, her money bags on her desk were shuffled through. Oh my God. What are you talking about? She had Cole put a lock on her drawer a while back. Okay. She took a long vacation, and when she returned, she could not use the key on the lock. Is there any proof to that? Like, did you supply any like pictures and stuff like this? She doesn't know if someone tried to pick the lock. What? When she got the cash bonus from Smith, she asked her where it came from. Smith told her the fair board approved the bonus. Girl, now I know you cray. Okay? You guys, did you guys see anything asked to Darcey about a cash bonus? Well, let's see if maybe they interview her again for something. They don't. She has the money still and hasn't used it. Oh my God. Again, there is no talk of how much money. How much money did you get? How much money are we talking about? She asked Jody from the fair board if the board approved a bonus for her. When? How did you ask her that? When did you ask her that? Wait, we're going to get all to that. Jody told her they did not discuss or approve any bonus for her. Jody told her to send an email to the fair board thanking them for the bonus. Like, that's how you're going to find out if they really send. They're going to be like, what? Look at how they scheme against this woman. You guys are going to die when you guys see what has truly transpired here. One board member responded to the email and said she didn't remember discussing a bonus. Smith found a gallon bag of money in her office the previous summer, 2021. Smith said she didn't know where it came from. This is all hearsay. Why aren't you asking Darcey about this? Wouldn't you have the questions already before you go into an interview with the person that this person's alleging that did all this crazy wild shit? No, on the 28th, you get all of this is just, wow. The same summer, Seth had mentioned he had a bag of money stolen out of his truck during a motocross event. So let me get this straight. You're trying to imply that Darcey Smith stole this man's motocrossing barrel of money and then just thought she would throw it in her office for anybody to see. And that's really brilliant. No, this is all. This Seth guy texted Smith about his money going missing. Seth later brought it up during a fair board meeting, and Smith denied receiving notification from, and guess what? More investigating this incident. That's not how it went down at all. I can't wait. She had the text messages Seth had sent about the money bag, which she sent to Chief Kuhn. Yeah, but you never sent them to Darcey. So Darcey has no idea what the fuck you're talking about because you never sent them to her. Because that's what you would be supplying, is proof that Darcey knows anything about what the fuck you're talking about. This is Tina with What the Fuck Translation Services. What the fuck are you talking about, Miranda? Is it Miranda or Miranda? I don't give a crap. It's a damn lie. She got the text messages from Seth. Smith never responded to Seth. There were issues between Smith and Seth leading up to the motocross. Dude, you're just like, this is insane. Seth did not know Smith had found a bag of money. There are problems with contracts not being signed by Smith. This is Tina with What the Fuck Translation Services. She doesn't know why Smith would refuse to sign the contracts. There were problems with Smith's communicating with Draft Horse Show organizer. The debit card is a problem. Smith takes the card on her personal trips and has purchased things for the grad night with the card. Smith had the card in her purse when she went on a trip to Disneyland. Where do you want her to keep this card? Like, did she use it at Disney? No, she didn't use it at Disney. But God forbid it's physically on the woman. Like, are you kidding me? This is what cops usually do in situations like this. Wow. Never like, oh my God, I was at Disney with her and I saw her purchasing Disney passes for the year for her and her kids or some shit. No. This is crazy. There was a while back when Jody sent her a picture of a bank reconciliation which had a purchase for something pickled. Excuse me? She knows Smith's husband loves pickled things. This is so embarrassing, man. This is unbelievable. She also returned from a trip and gloated about her new Burt's shawls and earrings. Smith was on a trip in Texas, and she believes Smith may have purchased something for her husband with the fairgrounds funds. The fuck? She believes the trip when Smith returned with the boots and the other items was from Smith's Colorado trip. She sat down with Chris and noticed there were purchases from vendors at her events. They went to the fair board with the information. Smith purchased things for grad night using fairground funds. No. The fairgrounds does not have any part of managing grad night. Smith helps with grad night. If Smith was to accept, grad night, like people donate things, like here, like you're always going around so you can give the stuff away to the seniors and shit like that at like proms and stuff. Whatever they had as their grad night. This is all behind Darcey's back. Yes, it is. But we're going to show you all of those transactions here in a minute. They recently received a bill on 6/15/2022 from A to Z Rentals for around $400 for basketball hoops, foosball, and ping pong for grad night. So did she pay it out of the... Who cares if you received a bill? Did you pay it out of the... How did it get paid? Is it even paid? Smith told her she sent the invoice to grad night. Okay. Several donations that were dropped off for grad night are still upstairs unused. What does that have anything to do with her job? 2 months before fair this year, Smith took $2,000 out of their bank accounts. Maybe she did it and she's blaming it on her. Smith put half in the safe and half in the register. She asked Smith why they needed change in the office, and Smith couldn't give her a reason. The half from the safe got deposited back into the account after the fair. She doesn't know about the half from the register. There were 10 gas gift certificates donated for grad night by Sagal Kanoko. Who gives a fuck? It has nothing to do with this. She was contacted by the gas station manager, Heather, who told her Smith was shady. Heather told her Smith and Smith's daughter turned in gas cards. Well, I think Smith's daughter was a grad, you dumbass. Heather kept an eye on the other certificates that were turned in. Heather asked her who the other people were who turned in the certificates. Other certificates were turned in by girls from Smith's Girl Scout troop and Janice Radar, Smith's friend. Heather contacted the commissioners and told them something shady was going on, that the gas cards were supposed to be for the children. My God. This, though, has nothing to do with the fairgrounds. You guys understand that? Grad night has nothing to do. It's totally like, it has nothing to do with your job there. Smith got an email from Dan about the allegations. Smith sent an email to Dan saying she handed the certificates out randomly. Smith admitted to her, meaning Darcey admitted to her, that she had given the gas certificates specifically to those girls because they had helped with grad night. I mean, this is just wild, right? There we go. Sorry about that. I needed to handle something. I mean, this literally just goes on and on and on about the most wildest shit. I'm personally believe that none of this matter. This has nothing. Where is there stuff about the fairgrounds? Okay. So Heather continued to pester Smith about the gas gift certificates. She heard Smith call from her office here. I mean, do you guys just see hearsay? Smith's billing is really lacking. Smith has not billed horse camp for the last 2 years, which could and would be a $5,000 to $7,000 profit. Doesn't this kind of sound like somebody that's trying to get somebody's job? Like, I can do this better than you type thing. Right? Smith and Janice set up a table at the Canoco to sell cookies before a Girl Scout cookie trip. Oh my God, what? That's normal. This has nothing to do with her job. Unless she's doing this while she's supposed to be working. Is she supposed to be working and selling Girl Scout cookies? She overheard, again, God, I mean, what is wrong with this girl? This 20-year-old. She overheard, again, hearsay. Janice and Smith's office say that they had not reported all the money made from the sale so they could use the money to pay for their Girl Scout trip and not have to pay for it out of their pockets. But what does this have to do? This has nothing to do with the fair. That have to do with the Girl Scouts. So, like, Smith hired her son through the fair board because relatives cannot be hired through the county. She doesn't know if the board okayed Smith's son being hired. She brought the issue up with Jody before they went to HR. Boom. So who are the whistleblowers? And Jody was unable to find any checks written to Smith's son. She had seen Smith hand her son paychecks, and she didn't know how he was paid. This occurred in 2020. Then why the fuck are you bringing it up now? Smith hired 4 or 5 seasonal helpers, and her sister was one of the helpers. Smith refused to hire her sister, though, through HR. I mean, does this not scream somebody who is pissed? This is unbelievable that this is a 20-year-old saying and going to the police. And now, were any of these questions asked or written up in the report? Smith refused to hire her sister through HR. Smith told her sister she knew ways around that, meaning to get around paying taxes. Oh my God. She went to Jody and told her she had an issue with Smith refusing to hire her sister through HR. Oh my God, girl. I mean, God, this is a 20-year-old causing problems, man. Her sister was paid for approximately 4 or 6 days prior to being officially hired through HR. Okay, so you're ratting out your sister, even if that's even true. So she's pissed that she's mad that her sister didn't get hired. And so in turn, she's just, hey, well, she's hiring these other people. But what does this say? Seasonal workers help get everything ready for the fair and do small tasks over the summer. She noticed lots of purchases in bank reconciliation for Amazon. The county recently made an Amazon account for the fairgrounds, so purchases would have to be approved first. A lot of things changed due to COVID. Like, this woman is ridiculous. And these police officers, I mean, I get how Idaho works right now. Idaho works like this. Run and go tell the cops whatever you want, and then the cops are going to believe whoever comes to that person first. That's what goes on in Idaho. And it doesn't matter if the fucking story makes it absolutely no sense. Why aren't you asking her if she has so you have access to the money as well? So did you make any deposits? So you have access to the money as well. How many people have access to this money? How many people do this? How many people do that? If you're truly going to do an investigation, then you investigate. But since when do cops believe just 20-year-olds like this? This is just ridiculous. I just want to know it's not about who you know in Idaho, it's who you blow in Idaho. Who are these people blowing? Prior to a year ago, there was no Amazon account. Imagine that. It's called COVID, honey. COVID. Also, Amazon can beat a lot of people's prices. And if you have Prime, it gets their lickety split. She saw an odd purchase from Yoki's and didn't know why Smith would use the card at Yoki's for work-related items. She didn't know the cost of the purchase. There is food purchase for superintendent lunch in the 3rd week in August only. One day, Smith came in around a year ago freaking out that the debit card account needed money in it, and she didn't know why. There was a Buchan and Hartman listed on a reconciliation. She looked it up, Chris looked it up, and the royalty coordinator looked it up and couldn't find anything. Jolene, with the rodeo committee, was pushing to know where the invoice was for the purchase, and the fair board started pushing. Jolene. Jolene is Miranda's best friend. One day she came into the office and saw a program open that they usually use for advertising. The program was open and she saw a template for an invoice. She didn't think anything of it at first, meaning Miranda. The next day, she was copied to an email from Smith who said she was providing the invoice for the Buchan and Hartman invoice. The invoice was the same as the template she saw on their desk. That's what I think is funny. Are you sure that you didn't make it? She tried to go into the program to find the template and it had been deleted. Okay. She assumed Smith had created the invoice because it was identical to what she had seen on the computer program. This occurred August 3rd, but she remembers that. The template she saw was actually for another incident regarding a plaque. It was not the Buchan one she was thinking of. It was the plaque. Okay, so now you're admitting that you messed up. There was a question by the fairgrounds about a plaque being purchased, and she believes Smith created the invoice. The invoice for the buckle was a different one, also believed to have been fabricated by Smith. Okay, let me explain something to you, sugar. If you're dealing with like mom and pop places, okay, and you're purchasing something, and they don't send you an invoice, okay, but yet you paid for something and you gave them the money, okay, well, I have to make up this invoice so that I can give it to my superiors. How is that fabricating anything? That's documenting where you gave the money to, okay? And my ultimate question is this is Tina with the fuck translation services. How in the world, Miranda, are you getting into Darcey's computer and are you going through all of her stuff? Because I bet you there's a bylaw against that. That's my bet. Oh, here we go. This is where it gets good. This is the juice. Smith paved her driveway, remodeled her kitchen, put a new deck on the house, put an offer on her neighbor's house, and took a couple of her kids' friends on a Disney trip in June of 2021. She was asked by Chief Coon why Beverly Curtis would have been paid July 5th through the 18th. Jesus Christ. She's a janitor. There were no events during that time that would have required cleaning services. She has been thinking Curtis does a lot of huckleberry and morale picking, and maybe Smith bought something from her. Dude, this is insane. The cleaning lady comes in before and after events, and occasionally the campground bathrooms during the summer. Oh, so that was during the summer then, wasn't it? All right. Well, thank you for all of your bullshit. We appreciate you. Now, this is Tina with What the Fuck Translation Services. And I'm about to blow this all up. So here we go. Now, let's go to this so I can share my screen. What do we got here? Which one do I want to go with? I want to go with this one. Boom. What you have here is you have 434 pages of a FOIA request. This is all of the correspondence between Miranda and Jolene. Now, I think Jolene was stirring up some shit. And what I'm going to do is I have my reference sheet. So 45 to 40. Let's go to page. Okay, now I want you to see the first thing I'm going to show you, which is take a look at the date. Okay. How big is that? No, I'm going to make that bigger. Hold on. Yeah, I like that. That's better. Okay, now here she comes, a record day. Take a look here. 3-1. See that? Now this is Miranda and Jolene. Come on, Eileen. And they're communicating. This is their correspondence back and forth on this messaging app. Okay. Now, they have correspondence March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Then all of a sudden, after Darcey Smith is no longer living, these two that are engaging in nonstop talk, and you're going to see what type of nonstop talk they were engaging in, which was setting Darcey Smith up. Setting her up. Literally, this is going to be all right in front of your eyes. All right. Should I text Earl? Yes. Ran into Jimmy this AM. He tasked me with checking on a few other things that needed paid, so working on that. Oh gosh, what are they? That custom panel, probably. What else? Money to Pendleton Rough Stock School. You know, blah, blah. Wow. Jolene, can you do me a favor? Can you look back on previous month minutes where we approved to pay the 500 sponsor for the Pendleton whatever? May 2022. Now, if you go and you listen to what the where's my boy here? Where is my? If you go in off of what the sheriff said that June of 2022, the Bonner County HR department received several tips that former fair manager Darcey Smith was misappropriating Bonner County Fairgrounds assets. Okay. So here, Jolene wants her to go. And now let me tell you who Jolene is. Jolene is the DMV, driver motor vehicle manager. And Miranda is literally the assistant to Darcey. Okay. So why these two are communicating the way that they are is interesting. And it's okay. So, so these type of communications, I mean, they're working on some products together, but then what you're going to see over these different pages that I highlight is they're working on during work time, what I believe would be personal use time, personal use things. And in the bylaws, you can do a little bit of that, but we'll see how much they do. So she asked her to pull some numbers, what they paid somebody. Well, if I had access to old minutes, I wouldn't have to bug you. I do want me to do this. Any idea what that would be from? No. Which email? Personal. Why are you having her send stuff to your personal email account? Okay. I agree. Why? Okay. Do you want 2021? You know, did they not get payment? You gave me 2021. You gave me some 2019. Remember 2020 was COVID. And this just, when I went through all these pages, I'm not so busy. Might have to be tomorrow, a tomorrow product when I'm not so busy. Like, seriously? That's just embarrassing. Now, next one, 51. Let's go to number, actually 48. 48. Take a look at what's on this page. Jolene, again, it says always at times trying to talk to her before Darcey gets into the office. I have September, which is not on there, but I'll look at October right here. She just pulled in, keeping tabs on when when Darcey gets there. 8:33. Okay. Darcey was found and believed to have pulled in at 7:35 that morning. Okay. And she attacks her little dog with damn dog. I guess the dog would no longer be allowed to accompany Darcey at work due to whatever the complaining was. Now moving on to 51. Take a look at this page. Calling Jackie Wayfield now. I don't know her. No, not Jody. LOL. Yeah, I know. She says she would love to. Ha ha. You called her. I think you're confused. Oh, I thought you said for me to call her. Yes, I was confused. Ha ha. Do I plan on Marcy singing Canadian? I don't know. She was being such a poop. It's dang if we do, it's dang if we don't at this point now. So if she sings Who Will Ride with the Flag, you gonna carry American? I'm beer guarding it up. Now let me tell you what beer guarding it up is. During the fair, there's obviously like you have to have bartenders and stuff. That's all cash. These two are running that. They're the ones that are bartending it. You know what bartenders do if you don't keep an eye on them? I used to own a bar. Let me tell you something. It's glorified babysitting when you own a bar. You have to like either be at your location or you have to watch your cameras all the time. Or you got to get people that you trust. Okay, because it's a cash business. And here, Jolene and Miranda, they're telling you guys, this is the fairgrounds money. Okay, this is cash. So in the investigation, when they said that there was money missing and that there was all this cash missing, right here, your people that are running your cash, vendor right here. So they're talking about how they are the bartenders. Okay. Now take a look at this name. What are you doing tomorrow? Meeting with Lewis. You know who Lewis is? That's the motherfucking prosecutor. Jolene says, I'm meeting with Lewis at about 11 about my drama here, then Cowboy Ball. What are you doing besides Jody? Going to meet with Jody at 9 if you want to join. Oh, and no idea. She just said office is closed on Friday. She doesn't have to go to work. Do you want to come with me? Might as well. So you have Jolene meeting with the fucking prosecutor? Let me see. Now, moving on. 54. Oh, where are you meeting? At the meat plant. We'll get into that at the next episode. We should ask Jody tomorrow if she has received bylaws. You guys are sick. Sicky. 525. Layla said softball sounds like they are using kitchen. They are using South Wing. Remember that whole like basketball was using this and what have you. Go to this, which is 56. I want to do that one. Now it's June 9th. Hi. How's it going? Oh, you know. How are you feeling today? Not great. Worse today than yesterday. And working by myself, evidently. Meaning that, like, she's trying to say, like, someone's not there. Oh, no surprise. Still no invoice from Best Western. Yeah, it really makes me wonder. Why is there no copy of it here? Clarissa, I would love to know if that's really how she spells her name, by the way, said she should be able to produce them right away. Huh? Well, she definitely should have at least one copy of it. Yeah, because she says she don't pay unless she has an invoice. Are you at work or home? Look at this. Jolene's asking this of Miranda. Ready? Because you want to know why? She's like, well, I'm at work. And then she realizes, she's like, oh, I was at the office in Sandpoint. I'll be here until 10. I question all of that. She here? Meaning Darcey's there. But you weren't working alone. You were just at a different office, you fucking lying bitch. I call it as I see him. Wouldn't want to be him. 62. 616. Oh my God, she is losing it. Yep. Not even sure what to say. Let me tell you why she's losing it. Okay? Because somebody, look at the date, 616, they had already went, okay? And now, as the sheriff put it in his lovely fucking presser, says, in June of 2022, the Bonner County HR department received several tips that the former fairgrounds, blah, 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 blah. We're doing this internal stuff. We're doing this external stuff. Stuff surfacing. Look at them talk about this. Look at them talk about her going nuts. Oh my God, she is losing it. Yep. Not even sure what to say. I can see it coming. So you don't get your way, so you act too. No, you guys literally, Jolene Bass and Miranda, I dare you to take the link for episode 4 and explain to me and the rest of the world how you didn't set up a woman. Explain to me how you didn't set up this woman. Because just in a couple months after this woman's life would be no longer. This is disgusting. What these two and other people did to this woman, you guys aren't whistleblowers. You guys are problem creators. You guys are jealous because guess what I did? I pulled the salaries on all of your asses. I know every fucking penny y'all make. And you were jealous of this woman. Miranda was making pennies compared to what Darcey was making. Pennies. But she didn't treat her any differently. She had no idea that this was going on behind her back. Miranda was supposed to be her friend. This is sick. And I'm exposing it all. All of it. You don't get your way, so you act too. Not even that. She just hasn't been paying attention. Really? Oh, no, she wasn't paying attention to you guys doing this to her. You're right. Or wanting to be involved and come to meetings. Yeah, I guess she threw that fit for nothing. Probably will make things worse if no one answers. I was hoping someone will. I was hoping someone else will, because I will just be blunt and make her sad/mad. No, honestly, Jolene, what you should have done is been a woman. And if you thought any of this was going on, why wouldn't you just go right to the woman and say, hey, da 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 da, and ask somebody? That's what a real woman does. This is called Mean Girls. And you know what? Mean Girls is relaunching in January. I hope you and Miranda go and buy some tickets. In fact, I'll buy them for you. Go and sit and watch Mean Girls that comes out in January. Sick drama. Well, what though, quote, sorry you feel that way. No one has looked at it. Leave it to Layla. LOL. Look at this little 20-year-old thinking this shit's funny. Leave it to Layla. And then Julian, ha 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 ha. She is better with words than me. But you know Marcy better. I wonder if Marcy stands for Darcey. Just saying. I don't know. Maybe Marcy's somebody else. Maybe they're just talking about another woman and making fun of her. Yeah, that's probably it. Look at this. The pot has been stirred. Anyways, on that note, this is the cliffhanger I will leave you on for episode 4, is to come back and see what I've discovered in this Jolene Miranda, and then we're going to throw in Sheriff Wheeler, Chief Coon, and a surprise guest. With that said, again, prayers going out to all of Darcey's family and friends this holiday season. Holidays are horrible for families and friends that lose their loved ones and that are not able to celebrate with them. But I hope that Darcey is looking down on all of you guys and knowing that you're fighting for her and for the truth and for transparency, because this channel is going to be there every step of the way, and to help in any way that we can. So again, thank you for joining for episode 3. Be kind to one another. Do me a favor, share this, get the word out on what truly is happening in Idaho, specifically in these 3 counties that I'm in. Thank you.
Who's responsible here? Whose house is this?
Yeah, haven't been drinking or anything, right?
No. Okay, drive careful, okay?
Thank you.
This is what the other group had that ran away.
Oh, really? You just ditched it? Awesome.
Yeah, those ones kept walking in the car and the other one.
It's truly for the win.
Disc that I was given to. So there was 2 different discs. Okay? They all knew about it.
We're not here to talk about the alcohol stuff, okay?
Okay, yeah.
But this is the second noise complaint we've had here tonight within 2 hours.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Is this your place?
Yeah.
Perfect. You know why we're here?
And I see noise.
Noise, yeah.
Yeah.
Big speaker right there.
Yeah.
Nothing against having a party. Once neighbors start calling in, then we have an issue.
Like brains, and like if you need a lot of brains, you're gonna be in trouble.